is NTV Breaking News.
Well, we're following news that KTN and NTV have been shut down on some free-to-airs. That is, Citizen and NTV have been shut down on some free-to-air channels. That's what we're following up for you right now. It's breaking news coming into a newsroom, and I can see even on Twitter there are several people who are asking. Nemayan, for example, says NTV is shut down and Citizen as well. That's a breaking news we're bringing up to you right now. It's confirmed that we've been shut down on some free-to-air channels. Ken Mijungu is in Limuru. That's where our broadcast transmission site is, and he's said to give us the latest. Ken, what's happening right there? Did you meet anyone trying to tamper with the equipment?
Have spoken to the people manning this place. We are at the main transmission center of the Nation Media Group just before you get into Limuru town, and we have spoken to the engineer on site. We've also spoken to the security, and the information they're giving us, Trevor, is about 8:30 a.m. this morning. We had two cars coming in, one a Land Cruiser of the police Land Cruiser, and the other one a small car. The number of occupants in that car numbered about 10. They got inside the transmission center, spoke to the engineers, spoke to the people there, but they did not touch any equipment, and they did not tamper with any equipment here, Trevor. What they did is just speak to the occupants, the people manning here, the engineers, and left. And I'll explain the reason why they did not touch any equipment here, and that is also the reason why you still can be able to view NTV on DSTV platform. This is because at the main transmission center, Nation Media Group, or NTV, basically feeds DSTV, that's a multi-choice only. So it means if they touch anything here, they can only switch off the signal that goes to DSTV channel 271, and that's where a lot of people right now are able to watch us from. So the reason they did not touch that, because if they did, they'll switch off DSTV, and they didn't do that. So they left here after a few minutes and went to the Royal Media Services Center in Limuru. That explains the reason why Citizen is off DSTV right now. You cannot get it at its channel on DSTV. At RMS site, which is also which is also shared by KBC, and that's where we're heading next, they switch off the terrestrial services. Now, Trevor, the terrestrial services is that services that formerly used to be that aerial that you just pick the aerial, put cable behind your television set, and you're able to watch TV in Kenya. Now, when they came up with the digital set-top boxes, they went and converged all signals at the RMS site. That's why on ADN, that's why on Pang, and that's why on Signet, no one is able to view any other channel, including the local channels that you can view on DSTV right now. So they went there and switched off, and in addition to switching off the terrestrial services, they switched off the DSTV signal that goes to Citizen. That's why you are not able to view Citizen, but you are still able to view NTV on DSTV, because they did not touch our signal here, Trevor. So that's where we are right now.
Ken, have they given any explanations as to why this is happening?
All right, no one is giving an explanation as to why this is happening, but your guess is as good as mine. We had the letter yesterday, the story we did yesterday, the Editors Guild complaining about express instructions from State House that the local media stations should not broadcast live the events at Uhuru Park today, and there was a threat in that letter that if any station that attempts to broadcast this live will be switched off, and parallel to that, the license may be revoked. So your guess is as good as mine. This is the second part of that threat. Don't air it live. However, if you're defiant and you air it live, we'll switch you off. So looking at the events of yesterday, the events of last week on Friday, the letter that we did a story on yesterday, and the information that we found out yesterday, that high-level meeting attended by the President, the Deputy President, Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, Joe Musheru, the ICT Cabinet Secretary, the AG Githu Muigai, and all the media representatives from CAS, from NMG, from Capital FM. If you look at the outcome of that meeting on Friday, it explains why today is happening, because yesterday the Editors Guild was very defiant that today's events will go on as on schedule. It will be beamed live, because that's the responsibility media houses to air these things, and they don't take political instructions. Rather, they make editorial decisions in public interest and for the good of the nation and of sound mind, and it's professionally done. So that explains, Trevor, the reason why this switch off is happening today, and the reason why on the terrestrial signal that was converted into the digital signal on the set-top boxes cannot be watched ADN, Pang, and Signet, Trevor.